Ooh, there's a little kick in there too.
Our names are Mike and Heather. We're traveling the US in our van Appa on a mission to visit all 50 states. Subscribe and join us as we try to figure out this whole van life thing. As always, thanks for watching. It is a beautiful day here in Louisiana, and we are so excited to get out and start exploring New Orleans. New Orleans is full of culture, music, food. So our first stop here today are beignets. We have made our way to Cafe Du Monde, and New Orleans is not disappointing with the jazz music. Right outside they're playing, but we are here not for the jazz music just yet, but for the beignets.
So we've just received our order here at Cafe Du Monde. We got a serving of beignets, which is the Louisiana State donut. They are something we've been super excited to try here in New Orleans. And we also got another Cafe Du Monde specialty, which is Cafe au lait, which is a coffee that they make with their chicory, which is from a tree root. So it's super special, and I'm excited to try all of this food.
You can see that there's literally a layer, like a whole inch worth of powdered sugar on top, and they're nice and warm, and I'm giving Mike the honorary first bites.
They're nice and warm.
The sugar's literally falling off.
Those are delicious. So good. Kind of like the best version of fried dough that you can get at a fair, and it's just perfect. After an amazing breakfast stop at Cafe Du Monde with fantastic beignets, we're ready to go out and explore more of the French Quarter.
You could spend an entire day in that market between the different food options, including alligator bites, which is just crazy, and shopping. So we quickly run through there before we got suckered into spending more money, because we have some plans for later on in Louisiana that we're saving for. And we have made our way to Jackson Square.
So we have come here. It's a really nice park in the French Quarter.
Kind of like the main hub area.
Yeah, so we have gotten a chance to walk around, and then we walked into St. Louis Cathedral, which is one of the oldest continually used cathedrals in North America, so that was really beautiful. And we're just enjoying our time in the French Quarter today. It's been a lot of fun and has definitely become one of my favorite cities that we've visited.
Honestly, most of the times we kind of skip cities because we figured it'd be easy to come back and do kind of like a solo trip, not necessarily needing to go on a road trip to visit a city. But New Orleans was definitely one that I wanted to come back to because it is one of my favorite cities that I've ever visited here in the States.
Similar to how Seattle was, there was no way we were going to pass up coming to visit while we were in the area. So I've been super excited and super impressed with what we've seen so far.
New Orleans is filled with culture and music, history, but it's also heavily known for being a drinking town, specifically Bourbon Street, which we have found ourselves on now. The original goal was to go to Pat O'Brien's to be able to get a hurricane where they were first invented, but we're here on a Monday and Tuesday, and that's when they're closed, so we found the next best thing.
We have come to Lafitte Blacksmith Shop Bar, which is the oldest bar in New Orleans and also apparently the oldest bar in the United States. Oldest bar since 1772, which is pretty cool. And we have gotten a New Orleans staple. We got a hurricane and something called a voodoo daiquiri. So we're gonna try those. This is our first drinks in New Orleans, so I'm super excited. This bar is very popular, but it's a really cool vibe. It's just very old. It has that kind of pirate vibe going. This is my first time drinking a hurricane. That's really good.
Dangerously good.
You can taste the alcohol, but it's not super obvious. It tastes like a really good fruit punch, and these could be a lot of trouble.
I went with the voodoo daiquiri, and because it is a hot day, I was pleasantly surprised that it came out as a slushie, which is perfect. You literally can't even taste alcohol. It just tastes like a grape slushie. I feel like this one might be more dangerous because you can drink these just super easy and you won't know until it hits you that there's alcohol in them. This is good.
Yeah, it's like a grape Kool-Aid drink. This was also, so it was a voodoo daiquiri, aka purple drink. The immediate risk of brain freeze is super high with this, but you don't notice anything else, so you could definitely get yourself in trouble with these.
New Orleans is one of the very few areas in the United States that are allowed to drink outside of bars and on the streets. We're still choosing to be inside because it is a very hot day and the shade and fans are very nice. But yeah, I can definitely see why these are popular drinks in this very popular drinking area of New Orleans. Those were very strong and those 3 beignets just aren't cutting it right now, so we're going to find food.
After leaving the bar, we knew we needed to get some food to soak up the alcohol we had consumed. So we came just a little bit down Bourbon Street to Nola Po' Boys, where we got maybe too much food, but we wanted to try a few staples of New Orleans cuisine. So we got a fried shrimp po' boy, which comes all dressed with mayo, tomatoes, lettuce, and pickles. We got chicken andouille gumbo, and we got a vegetarian muffuletta. So we've got quite a bit of food in front of us to try and make our way through, but I'm super excited because New Orleans is known for its cuisine, and hopefully we got some of the best options here. I'm excited for the po' boy because it should have some heat to it. It says it comes spicy, so I'm really excited to try it. And that's really good. The shrimp is really good. There's some heat to it. You actually have options here at Nola Po' Boys to get a spicier version, or you can get the Yankee version, which is not spicy. This is just the normal one, which comes spicy. Yankee is because like Northerners don't like spice, but from Western New York, spicy chicken wings, we know that hot seasoning, but this is really good. I'm a big fan. It just is a great sandwich, so definitely recommend.
I went with the vegetarian muffuletta. Traditionally, it's just a lot of cheese, ham,
And like cold cut type foods.
yeah, and cold cut type meats on here with a sesame seed bun, so that's kind of the signature. But I went with the veggie one, which looks like it's teeming with flavor. It's dripping out on me, so got lots of veggies and cheese and that nice crispy bun like I like. I really like the sesame seed bun. It's nice and crunchy, and sesame seed flavor, something that I really enjoy. The cheese is nice, and it's like almost like an olive oil with the vegetable mixed in, so it's really, really good. Safe to say we really liked our first 2 sandwiches because we devoured them. And now we're moving on to the thing that I'm actually most excited about, which is gumbo. When I think of New Orleans and Louisiana, I think of gumbo, and I didn't get a chance to try this the last time I was here. We went with the chicken gumbo, and you can see some rice and all the good fixings in there. It tastes like the best chicken soup that you could possibly have with rice. Ooh, there's a little kick in there too.
Make sure I got a little bit of everything. I wasn't really sure what to expect, and Heather and I have very simplistic palates. We aren't ever really adventurous with food. We're trying to get better, but I'm really glad that we got this. This is such a staple of New Orleans food. Definitely top marks. I really, really like this. To the trolley. Thank you.
Hi. Thank you.
We have left Bourbon Street and we have left the French Quarter here in New Orleans. We took the St. Charles trolley car all the way from the French District to the Garden District. Or is it French Quarter?
French Quarter.
French Quarter to the Garden District. We passed through the business district and got to see downtown New Orleans, but it was really exciting because the trolley car we rode on and the trolley system here is the oldest continually used trolley system in the world, starting back in the 1800s. So a lot of really great history with that. A really fun ride. It only cost $1.25 each to come all the way out to the Garden District, which has some beautiful architecture. It's a little bit more away from the hustle and bustle of the French Quarter, and we're heading over to the Lafayette Cemetery now.
We have made our way to the Lafayette Cemetery. Unfortunately, according to Google and this very closed fence, it is temporarily closed for today. So we're not able to walk in. Pretty popular thing to do in New Orleans is to walk through the cemeteries because because of how unique they are. Because the city is built at sea level, if you were to bury your dead 6 feet under, you'd hit water. So what's unique about the cemeteries here is they build up the graves above water.
And you can actually do guided tours through the cemeteries.
Yeah.
At the visitor center that we parked near, they had some for the one near the French Quarter, and then obviously this Lafayette Cemetery number 1 has guided tours as well. And usually you can find those right near the entrance, but today being temporarily closed, we weren't able to do that.
And that just means I'll have another excuse to come back to New Orleans. Not that we need any, because I think we both really enjoy the city. And the main thing to do in this area is to visit the cemetery, but there's still beautiful homes and different things to check out here. So we're gonna go do that real quick before we hit the trolley cart back to our van.
We just went into the Garden District bookshop, which was a great stop because we learned a little bit more about the city as well as the building that we were in. The area that the bookshop was in is called the Rink, which is called that because it was originally built as part of the World's Fair in the 1800s as a skating rink. But we talked with the person in the bookstore at the counter, and they explained a little bit more about the city, and they described it as sort of, in their mind, the northernmost Caribbean city because of the influence that's been here. So it sort of explains the vibe that we've been feeling, but couldn't quite put our finger on of why it doesn't necessarily feel the same as other locations that we've been to. And I think it's one of the reasons we've enjoyed our time here in the city so much. After we returned to the French Quarter on our way back to Appa, we had to make a detour for a little bit more coffee and beignets from Cafe Du Monde, so we walked back down to Decatur Street, and now we are ready to head back to the van with some amazing goodies and a last taste of New Orleans before we hit the road. We are back at Appa. We made our way out of the French Quarter and have returned to just the edge, which is the parking lot that we found to park in on iOverlander, which was super awesome.
It's in the visitor center parking.
Yes, super reasonable for a full day.
$10?
Yeah, nice spot. No overhead clearance issue, so great spot. Really happy to be able to get in and out of the French Quarter on foot. One of the things we always love is walkability in a city, and this was really great. Riding the trolley was a lot of fun, and it just was a great vibe. We got a great taste, and by taste I mean quick experience and also taste of food.
Literally.
This has been some of our favorite cuisine that we've tried anywhere in the country. We are going to head out from the city. We'll probably
finish our beignets.
Yes, absolutely finish our beignets. I don't know how we're going to do that without making the entire front of our van a mess. There's a lot of powdered sugar on these.
Look, there's just a chunk. Let's see if I can grab it.
Following that, we are going to find a Planet Fitness.
Look at this chunk.
That is so much.
That's just powdered sugar.
Yeah, so we're going to enjoy these and then head to Planet Fitness.
Because we'll probably be covered in powder anyways, along with the sweat.
Yes, so we'll head there.
I feel like if you're not covered in powdered sugar, you didn't do it right anyway, so
yeah,
okay.
This was our first stop this morning and our last stop on the way out. I would not do it any other way. I'm so glad to have these.
When we were at Planet Fitness, we realized our towels kind of stank real bad. I think it's because we didn't necessarily hang them up to dry after our last shower session, so they kind of stink a little bit, which has prompted us to do a quick load of laundry here tonight. Yes. We also have a whole thing of clothes that we need to clean as well, so it just seemed right. So now we're sitting on a laundromat. I think we're gonna get some work done as well while we're waiting and doing laundry, and then tomorrow starts more fun activities here in Louisiana.